everyone, I'm Anne.
And I'm Andrew.
We're going to share some simple massage techniques today to help you connect with your partner. One involves compression, one involves jostling or shaking, and the other involves range of motion.
That's right. We're going to be using a table. And if you don't have access to a massage table, you can get creative. You can use your bed, your couch, or your kitchen table. Put a comforter on it and make it comfortable. But the main thing is that we're protecting our bodies as we work on each other. So you want a surface that you're not leaning too far over or feel strained.
Yes, and throughout this massage, communication is really important from both people. So, as the person receiving massage, feel free to speak up. Hey, this is what I need. I need less pressure. I need slower speed, etc. And
As the person giving the massage,
uh-huh.
I'll be sure to check in frequently, and any feedback that I'm given, I'll take into consideration and work to implement immediately.
And most of all, we want to have fun. So, enjoy the experience.
We're going to go over a little bit of massage technique that you can do with your partner. It's very gentle, and in fact, it's meant to be done slowly and with a lot of feedback. So I'm going to check in with Anne as we go through this. Remember that we're doing relaxation. This isn't a therapeutic treatment, but instead we're taking time to connect and understand what feels good for each other. So the first part I want to check in on is where Anne holds her tension. Okay, and so after that, I'll go over the whole body, showing a few different techniques, and she'll give me some feedback through each one. All right, let's begin. So I'm going to stand with my feet hip width apart, and I'm going to lean myself into the table. That's going to protect my posture. And my palms are open. And what I want to do is make a cup. And I'm going to use this to compress. So I'm going to start off with the toes and just squeeze for 1, 2 seconds. 1, 2, 1, 2. And I'm going to come underneath. And I'm not curling my fingers, but instead we're just putting pressure and squeezing gently. And we can check in. And how does this pressure feel?
It's good.
Okay. So if it feels good, it's a good idea to keep going that way. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm just squeezing inward, and I'm also going to squeeze downward. Moving up the body primarily right now. Now we get to the waist. We're going to go to the arms, putting pressure to the palms, fingers, palms, wrists, forearms, biceps, shoulders, chest. We can repeat these a number of times, or we can just get things warmed up. So as we cross each segment of the body, you want to make sure you're not putting pressure right on the joint. But I'm going to go above it and below it. And I can squeeze there, squeeze going up. How's that feel, Anne?
I dig it.
All right. So when you find a good spot, it's okay to hang out there and give a little bit of extra attention. If nothing comes up, it's okay. This time is just to spend exploring. Mm-hmm. So keeping my hips connected to the table helps me save my own posture, keeps me from getting tired, and stay connected to my partner here. So if I'm away from the table, it's a lot harder to push. So I want to stay right here in connection, in control. I'm going to give pressure to the fingers, palms, the wrists, forearms, biceps, shoulders, chest. Good. I'm going to place my hands here on Anne's abdomen very lightly. I'm going to move one hand up. And then the other hand. Good. Now coming back down to the feet here, I'm going to cup her heels into my palms by sliding under the ankle and just gently touching my fingers to the inside of Anne's heels. With my hips to the table, I just gently lean back. Gonna hold, then release. We're gonna push on the balls of the feet. Now hold, 1, 2, and we're gonna repeat this at least 3 times. And for this, we're helping to lengthen the spine. We're lengthening Anne's spine and letting her relax into all the things we just did. And we're going to push these forward again. Good. One last time. Hips to the table, gently lean back. How's that feel, Anne?
Feels great, especially where you press into the sole of the foot.
Okay. So knowing what our partner likes is a good thing. Now we're going to make our way up to the head and neck, remaining in contact. I'm going to use that same cupped palm, and I'm going to slide this underneath her hair, underneath her neck here, and same thing on the other side. And we're creating a cradle. So the back of Anne's head is supported by this open palm right behind the ear. I'm going to do the same thing on both sides. And if you have a stiff neck, just talk about it, go slow, and relax and breathe together. So here I'm going to now put a little pressure towards Anne's feet, pushing her head towards her toes. And we're just holding for 2 seconds, 2 to 4 seconds. Then we're going to pull back. And I'm not curling my fingers. I'm letting those palms stay open and just cradling the head, but pulling the tension towards me. It's nice and gentle. Good. I'll just do that a couple times. Next, I'm going to take the same palm, bring it to her forehead, and bring the other one to the top of the head. And just gently, I'm going to lean a little bit of pressure right down. Good. Now I'm going to use the other hand and push towards the toes. So I'm pushing the top of the head towards the toes. Now I'm going to use the forehead and just compress down. That's enough. And now we're just going to do a little gentle pulsing. Right on the side at the temples. Here. And it's just a gentle, firm hold and release. How's that feel, Anne?
It's all right. That feels better, that position.
There you go. So it's okay to explore. You're taking your time, you're being gentle, and you're checking in. You're bound to make discoveries. Okay. So that's all for the compression phase. of our connection time. So in this next section, I want to show a rocking technique. And basically, you're just helping your partner feel a wave, feel looseness. It's not very aggressive, but we want to mimic the wind or the ocean. We want to create a rhythm and something that feels good and easy to just cruise. Okay? So you want to check in with your partner, slow it down, and have fun. Let's begin. So I'm going to start again here with the toes. And I just want to start by wiggling them back and forward. Just one toe at a time. And this is range of motion. We're not stretching and we're not trying to unlock or change things. We just want to move through the range of motion that's there. Now, I feel a little tension here, so I'm going to ask Anne to relax her big toe a little more. And I'm going to move even a little slower. So I'm going to hold it, then I'm going to bring it back to a flex, and then I'm going to give just a little wiggle. And these gentle movements give Anne time to relax into it. Good. Now we're going to do the same thing with the foot. I'm going to hold here underneath the ankle and just like a windshield wiper, moving in and out, in and out. Protecting the knee, we're not going beyond pressure. As soon as you feel a little pressure, that's where we stop. Good. Now, I'm going to do some circles. I'm going to use both hands to move the heel and the toes, nice and slow, so Anne can relax into it. And as I'm circling, I'm going to ask Anne to relax that ankle a little more. And she's going to do that by breathing in, and every exhale, this ankle gets lighter and lighter. There we go. Now we're going to rock. Gently, right here on the lower leg. Now we're going to put one hand above the knee and one hand under the knee and continue our rhythmic rocking motion. So I like to count sometimes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Find a rhythm that feels good to you. Breathe easy. And we can check in. Anne, does this speed feel good for you?
Like maybe a little bit faster.
A little faster. So we're going to pick up the tempo.
Actually, I changed my mind. Slower was nicer.
Okay. Exploration is what it's about. So as we move, I'm going to find a medium tempo, and maybe I change it up a little bit. Maybe we go slow, and then I speed it up. And then we go slow, and then speed it up. Okay, and so here at the hips, we want to go side to side, almost like I'm tossing a basketball from one side to side. All right? There we go. And now we can rock here. It's like the compression, but instead I'm actually pushing in and drawing a circle with the hip. Okay? There you go. Now I'm going to use both hands on the side of the body. I want to compress evenly here. That works too. So as we're shaking, now I want these wrists. Range of motion. We want to move the fingers. Just doing some gentle rocking, doing some gentle rocking. Now that I've made it all the way to the shoulders, I'm going to keep rocking all the way down the body, back to the legs. Good. See, you get a nice wave, and the more relaxed they get, the more wiggly they are. Good. Now I'm going to switch to the other side. Let's see, there we go. So moving each toe, just giving them a little shake, just a little wiggle to feel loose. I'm going to hold this ankle and just make some nice circles to start. Circles, good. And we're going to make circles the other way. And we'll ask Anne to relax her ankle as much as she can and breathe into it. And as she breathes, I'm going to slow it down. Good. And now she's able to sink into that. Very nice. So we are going to start shaking, jostling, wiggling. So yeah, it's a little like the compression, but we're releasing and letting the recoil of the body play out. And now we're at the hips. So I'm going to jostle the hips. And I want to put my hands, here's your hip bones. I want the heel of my hand right on that edge. And now I can move that waist side to side. And I can also go up and down. You hear your partner start to purr. You're doing it right. Good. So now we're going to continue up the body here. And similarly with the rib cage, we're just gently jostling back and forth. When you get to the fingers, same thing. You want to get these wiggles going. And just let her flop around. We can raise one arm up and just shake. You're going to shake it all out, okay? There we go. Now, I'm not going to do too much shaking to the head, but what we are going to do is cradle the neck again. I'm going to turn. I'm going to just let the head fall to one side of the shoulder to the right, and then let it fall to the left. There's no force. I'm letting Anne's head roll through my hands. So she's really guiding how far it goes. How's that feel?
That's good.
Good. One more to the right. Good. And then let the head come to rest. So that's part 2. It's a technique of just jostling and shaking the body loose. Hope you enjoyed that. So in this portion, I want to show you some ways to just explore range of motion with your partner. It's not stretching. It's going to be just getting the joints moving. And we want to check in any place that we have tension to ask our partner to breathe into it as we slowly move them through their range of motion. So have fun. Let's do it. Starting off at the toes, we want to get them moving. We're going to curl the toes down gently, and then I'm going to flex them back. And I'm only going part of the way. I'm not pushing so that the whole foot moves. We're isolating those toes, just getting them moving. Now I will move the foot now into a flex and into a point. Into a flex, you can use both hands here, or into a point. There you go. Okay. Now, in this point, let's draw some circle. Good. I'm going to draw the other way. Now, coming underneath the knee, I'm going to lift the leg from the knee here, put one hand on top of the foot. We're going to let the knee lean to me, and then lean back towards the center line. And we could stay here for quite a while. It feels really good.
Yeah, it does feel good.
Now, with the knee coming to the outside, I'll bring the heel to the opposite leg and extend. Now, we've got straight limb again. For the hips, it's going to be very similar. We're going to hold pressure to one direction and release. Hold and release. Now we're going to push in, hold and release. Now we're going to push down towards the legs, hold and release. And I'm going to go underneath and I'm going to push to the opposite direction. So I'm turning the hips. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to take the hands and fingers. You can go one finger at a time. You can do one joint at a time if you want to. It's all about how much time you want to spend connecting.
As much as possible.
Just opening these hands up. There we go. And we're going to move back and forth. Now we're going to draw some circles. There we go. Nice and slow and easy with the wrist. And the other direction. Now I'm going to grasp the wrist, a couple fingers, gently lift, and now we're just going to shake the elbow. Just going to shake it. Good. Taking the arm up in front, bring it overhead.
I like that one.
Bringing it back. These are natural movements that we all do. We raise our arms, we lower them. And what I'm doing is going slow enough that Anne can relax through the motion. So instead of her using her own muscles to do it, I want to move slow enough that she can respond with relaxation instead of tension.
That part feels really good with you suckling my arm.
There we go. Good. Now I'm going to reach underneath the humerus, which is the upper arm, and cup the other shoulder. And say I want to push up. We're going to pull it down towards the legs.
That is super juicy.
We're going to push in towards the body. And we're going to pull away. And then, good. We can bend the elbow. Bend it up. I call this one purring the cat. And we just bring it up. Just like that. There we go. You can create your own fancy names together. Have fun with it. Now I'll go to the other side. Starting at the feet again. You want to flex. You want to extend the toes down. Flex them back. Just range of motion. Just wiggling. Nothing too extreme. Any place that your partner says feels good, that's when you give it a little more attention. So flex them down, flex them back. Now we're going to draw circles. Nice and easy. And reverse that direction. Good. Pushing that foot forward, pointing the foot. Remember, we're just working it back and forth through our range of motion. And wherever you feel tightness, that's where you stop. When you encounter tension or pressure, that is as far as you're going to go. And we want to check in with our partner. Do you feel any pressure here?
Not there. When you flex, I feel a little bit in my knee.
And you feel pressure in your knee here?
Just feels like it's kind of blocking.
Well, we're going to go ahead and bring our hands under the knee, both together to support as we lift. Okay. One hand on top of the foot. I'm going to let the leg come to the outside towards me. And then wave back to the inside. We can use our rhythmic method of just counting 1, 2 seconds. Going back to the center for 1, 2 seconds. And if your partner feels like they'd like you to go slower, you can check in. How's this speed?
That's good.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay, so we'll bring it across to the center. Pause, release. And this is the final time. We're going to let the knee come out. Bring the heel to the opposite leg, inner leg, and let it slide down and straighten out. Very good. Now we're going to range of motion these hips. We're just going to put some pressure downward, across, upward, and down the body. Give him a little wiggle.
I like that one.
Mm-hmm. Now, utilizing this arm, we'll do the same thing. We can curl the fingers down, we can extend them and straighten them, and we can give them just a little wiggle. And just hold the wrist. Just give those fingers a wiggle. There we go.
That feels really good.
Yeah. Circle. Back and forward. Palm up, palm down, palm up, palm down. Good. Now we're going to circle the whole forearm. Wonderful. And back the other way. Now we're going to lift, supporting underneath. I'm holding the wrist. And we want to just get that wiggle moving. Nice and light. Good. I'm going to take this shoulder. Come up. And down. And come up. Bring it around. And down. We'll bend. Bring it up to the forehead. Around and back down. And we just want to repeat these motions. Nice and smooth. There we go. So now we're going to purr the cat. Okay. Now from here, we're going to cup our hands again underneath the neck. All right. And holding this position, we're going to turn the head left again and slowly pour it towards the right. Good. Coming back to the center. I'm going to move Anne's ear towards the shoulder, keeping the nose pointing directly to the ceiling with just a little tilt. I'm coming back to the center. Now I'm going to lean the other way, just a little tilt. And we're just going to move back and forth slowly, maybe just 3 times. Just 3 times. One more. And here's my favorite. After that, we're going to shake the head yes. Just nod yes. I'm cupping underneath the neck and the back of the head. So I got the back of the head, this hand underneath the neck, and we're just going yes. But Anne's going to let me do all the work. That's it. That's it. Very nice. So that's range of motion with our partner. You can get creative as you want to. Keep it gentle, keep it slow, and check in. Have fun.